Hello. So, does Paro in our Parashat learn anything? Does he change anything in his personality? Or does he just give up and surrender? What happens? I think there's one sentence where it might be a dramatic change in Paro and this amazing insight. Maybe he lost it afterwards. Maybe, if I understand it correctly, maybe Paro, for at least 5 seconds, changed his whole way of looking at Am Yisrael, at looking at people. Paro, after Makat Arbe, calls Moshe and Aaron, and he tells them that he apologizes, and he says, "Chatati l'Hashem Elokechem, I have sinned towards Hashem, your God, your Lord, ve'lachem, and I have sinned towards you." Who is the you that Paro is referring to? And there's a dispute, there's an argument between the different commentators. One way of reading it is he's talking to Moshe and Aaron. I have not treated you correctly. I was rude towards you. Because a few psukim earlier, it says, Vaygaresh otam et pnei Paro. He sends them away. And the Malbim says, this is another sin towards Hashem. Since Moshe and Aaron are the messengers of Hashem, and he hasn't been treating Hashem correctly, so the way he's treated his messengers is incorrectly. But it's all there in the Ben Adam Lamakom. But I think there's another reading, and this reading appears in the Midrash of Chazal, and I think a few commentators too, that the Lachem is referring to Am Yisrael. Chatati l'Hashem Elokechem ve'lachem, I have sinned towards the people. And maybe there's a split second in which Paro realizes that his whole treatment of Am Yisrael as different people, not as object, not as something that he possesses, but rather they're people that have a religion and they want to have the right or the will to worship Hashem. And he does it, and for 2 seconds, he suddenly has this realization that holding people as slaves, there's something wrong with that. Chatati lachem, treating people as objects, is something very, very problematic. The ability to look beyond how these people are useful to me, but to see them as subjective people. Paro had 1 second of this insight. And of course, to us in a modern world, this sounds basic. We should treat people as people. But so many times we fall in this place where our connections to the people surrounding us are not around who they are and what their needs are and what their personality is and how rich the person before us is. But rather, we look at the people in front of us and we tend to think, how can they be useful? How does my connection with them help me step forward? And it's so important to see all around us, anyone, even people that are different from us in many different aspects, who we have disagreements with, to be able to see them as subjective people, as subjects, as personalities, and to see more than just someone, an obstacle who is not allowing me to do what I believe in, but rather as a personality, to learn a little bit of humanism, how absurd as this sounds, from Paro, the king of Egypt. Shabbat Shalom.